Hi everyone. It's late, it's 20 past midnight, I'm bored, I can't sleep. So I figured I would come downstairs and play some retro gaming. What better way to waste some time than to play retro games? Thing is, there are so many of them, and I tend to stick with just my selection of favourites. I want to broaden my horizons a bit, so I figured it out. I've got a load of games on my hard drive. Um, I want to pick one of those at random, and when I pick one at random, I want to play it for a while, see what I think of it. So I've decided that I am going to release a new series on YouTube called Random Select. And basically, I'm going to set myself 10 minutes to experience any game. It may be a game I'm familiar with, it may be a game I love, it may be a game I've never played before, maybe a game I've never heard of before, or it may even be a game that I think is total garbage. But regardless, I'm going to play it for 10 minutes, see what I think, and at the end of 10 minutes, I'm going to choose whether I want to continue or if I want to go to the game over screen. So, this is the file system here. Let me just switch over to that. You can see it on my screen now. Now, this game is currently highlighting ZX Spectrum. I figured what better way to start a new series than to go to my beginnings. My first ever system was a ZX Spectrum. The game system has 10,000 plus games available for it, so there's no way that I've even sampled a smattering of what's on offer. So, let's pick one. Let's hit this button, select which game's going to come through, and play it. Oh, what a wonderful start to a series. Turrican 2, The Final Fight. Well, Turrican 2 is one of my all-time favourite games on the Amiga and the Commodore 64. I'm not too familiar with the ZX Spectrum version, but such a good game. It really is. On the other systems, it's magical. The music, the sound effects, the graphics, everything was just phenomenal. I'm excited. I can't wait to play this on the Spectrum. So let me just switch over and get this game running. So I've got my game of Turrican here somewhere. Let me just hook it out. Yes, there it is. So it's a two-side game. I've got the side A loaded. Also, in the top of the screen there, you'll see I have my timer loaded. And basically, well, you would see my timer loaded once I've actually whoop, switched over. Okay, so now you can see my ZX Spectrum. You can also see my timer. It's right up there. Can you see? Woohoo! Right above my name. So, without further ado, let's get this show on the road. 10 minutes to play Turrican 2 on the ZX Spectrum. I can hear the music already in the background and I can't wait. Here we go. Okay. Great music. Some of the best music ever created for a game. Chris Hulsbeck is a legend. He really is. He's so clever with his music. I could spend 20 more seconds just listening. Look at that artwork as well. That's pretty good. Okay, so let's get the Kempston joystick going. How do I get going? Okay, spacebar. Wow, it's really nice and colourful. Okay, what weapon did I just pick? Now, should we see if the hidden items are here? It looks like the hidden item is not there. Okay, on the Amiga version, if you go to that direction at the start of the game, you can get like a hidden power-up. But it doesn't look like it's evident on this version. Can I still jump on enemies? No. Regretfully, I can't jump on enemies anymore. Wow, that jump is really floaty. Wow. Really floaty jumps. Look at that. That looks crazy. Look how high I can jump. Okay, this waterfall should be a piece of pish. Jump over. Wow. Look how quickly my health depletes. Now, Turrican has two modes of fire. He's got his regular shots, and he's got this kind of laser beam. that I can select in all directions. It looks like my health is going to disappear extremely quick, and it also looks like this version has randomly appearing enemies, which is going to be very difficult to deal with. The level layout so far is extremely faithful to the 16-bit version. And it's very easy to die. At least you start in the same place, which is good. You don't have to worry about too much backtracking. Aerial platforming. Yes, that'll do, that'll do. Although with this game, while I appreciate the amount of effort that it's taken to make a Turrican style game for an 8-bit machine, this isn't a patch on the C64 or the Amiga ones. The ZX Spectrum just couldn't cut it at this time. This was released, what, in 1992? And this is one of the final years of the ZX Spectrum's life. The ZX Spectrum was created in 1982. So at this point, when this game was released, the system had been out for a decade. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. A decade. And it was still releasing games. It's still pumping them out. Turrican 2 must have been one of the last games up there with Smash TV as well. Smash TV, as far as I remember, was the last game available made for the ZX Spectrum. But this is admirable, to be fair, considering the system's limitations. This is a fair version, especially when you consider that the Amiga version was a graphical tour de force and an absolute visual and audio treat. It was also silky smooth, which this version sadly isn't. This one's a bit jerky, and it's very hard to hit the enemies as a result of that. That and the fact that the enemies just... my bullets don't seem to do anything to them. There's no resonance when I hit them. And the jump mechanism doesn't work too well. You have to let go of the jump totally before you can jump again. Wow, and the feathers and the wind hurts you in this version. On the Amiga and on the C64, you didn't get injured when you hit that wind. It just blew you off. Okay, totally missed the platform. That's another downside with this version of the game. Because the sprite's so relatively big compared to the screen, you're doing a lot of leaps of faith. A lot of them. Like, even these relatively simple jumps. That platform, I had no idea it was there up until a second ago. And the other one I just missed totally. Making platforming difficult. And as this is an action platformer, that is a big no-no. Big strike for me. Okay, let's try it again. So hop. Hop is... missed it. It's so hard to judge. You can't see anything. There's literally no field of view in front of your character. Bren Maguire is jumping into darkness, basically. Okay, so let's try there. No, I missed. Damn it. You know what? Screw that. Let's just go down the waterfall. I'll go chasing waterfalls. Wow, I'm gonna get destroyed. Oh, I survived. Not for long though, I imagine. Yeah, the field of view makes this 5 times more difficult than the other versions. And the fact that there's no real feedback when you shoot somebody. There's no idea if you're actually doing damage to them or not. But other than that, had a good time, to be fair. I'm not thinking screw this game. Silly waste of time. On to the next one. I'm thinking I'll fight through it. I wonder if you can still turn into a ball and how you do it on this version. Come on, I want to get in there. How do I do it? I'm hitting all the keys on the keyboard. Maybe wiggle. Oh, it appears I've paused the game. Ah, enter. Right. This was always great about Turrican. You could just go mental and drop bombs all over the place. It was fantastic just to clear out rooms of enemies. Okay, some more leaping of faith. Well, we can handle this. This isn't too bad. I kind of like that the level layout is faithful to the other versions. So I've got a rough idea of where I'm going. Only very rough, but it's better than a kick in the teeth. Hey, new weapon. Oh no, healing. Shield. Which again was quite handy for that area. And I think we are approaching the boss. Yes, we are getting close. One up. You know, with the slower pace, it feels more like an adventure game than the action shooter it used to be. It's got a much more explory vibe. Excuse me. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I just miss the pace of the original. Or what I would deem the original, which are the 16-bit Amiga version. That's the one I'm used to. Followed by the C64, which was excellent. In fact, the C64 version had stuff that the Amiga didn't. It had these shoot 'em up sections, which were fantastic. The little spaceship shooting bits, which the Amiga one never had. It replaced some of the more graphically taxing levels that the Amiga version contained. But the Amiga one's still the king for me. Oh, and it's time up, so my 10 minutes are over. Okay. Let's clear that annoying sound out. And let's fade back to me. So, what do I think of Turrican 2 on the Spectrum? An admirable attempt of a game that was well beyond the Spectrum's means. Graphics are very bright and colourful. It uses full use of the ZX Spectrum's palette. There is a bit of colour clash, but it's minimal. The frame rate's not good. You're talking single digits for the most part, but it doesn't detract from the enjoyment. The enjoyment of the game is still there. The sound is non-existent, unfortunately. Although the intro track was awesome. I love the intro music. The in-game sound effects were minimal at best. The weaponry minimal at best. But the biggest problem with Turrican 2 is its visual style. Turrican as a sprite, Bren Maguire, is just too big. You can't see enough of the world around him, and as a result of that, you've got these kind of leaps of faith, and that puts me off considerably. However, that being said, I would still want to continue playing it. Turrican 2 is a classic. No matter what system you play it on, the level design is superb, the enemy design is superb, the character design is superb, the whole game is superb, even in a cut down form like the ZX Spectrum. So, it's a continue for me. Turrican 2, First game on my random select list. The first game to get a continue. What will be next? Who knows? I may do another Spectrum game. I may do something else. Maybe Commodore Amiga, possibly. We shall see. We shall see. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed Random Select. And if you do, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll do more of these. In the meantime, well, I'll see you soon. Bye.